もマイナス10になってて確定反撃受ける。マイナス9だ。
Blackmore.
I think I've come to the conclusion after fighting it for so long, trying to enjoy the game, I really don't recognize Tekken anymore. And that's okay. And what I mean by this, it's not the same series I fell in love with. Gameplay wise, the creativity that you can have in expressing yourself with those characters in there, and even the story. Yes, I know, laugh it up. The fact that somebody actually enjoys the story from a fighting game, yeah, I'm one of those people that actually enjoy the lore, the characters, the whole 9 yards. It's what really gets me even more into a series on top of that, not just from the gameplay and competitive side alone. If I can enjoy every single thing it has to offer, you pretty much got somebody that's gonna really just stick by that series alone, and that's what type of gamer I am. It's just how I am. But with that Heihachi DLC that came out not too long ago in the last video I did, I mentally checked out from the story because I see the Tekken team is really afraid to stick to their guns and really just have there's just I really don't know. I really do not know what their thought process is. So Tekken Talk was a few days ago. After seeing everything they showed off, I slept on it, and I'm still pretty baffled at the choices they decided to go into for the new season going forward. I see I'm not alone on this. You talk about the big keyword on defense for Season 2 being a focus, but you double down on making the game even more aggressive?
Don't ask me for
If I wanted more aggressive play, I can easily just go to a Waffle House and get that. Key charge counter hit being taken away after nearly, almost 30 something years? I really don't know about that. Chip damage from breaking throws is a thing now? I honestly still baffled by this choice and can't find an understanding nor the thought process behind it. Like, who does this really benefit? This really doesn't benefit anybody. I just don't understand. It makes throws even more of a useless thing. Imagine you do all this practice breaking king's throws, giant swings, multiple shining wizards. Next thing you notice, what happened to my health? I still can't get over Asasena's new standstill. It's NRS levels of animation I've ever seen in my life. Now, multiple characters have turned into stance 50-50 situations and installs. And it just made me realize much more. This game isn't for me. It's not for just the veteran crowd, not even the Tekken fans. Like, a lot of characters are just honestly losing their identities more and more as time goes on when they're adding all these new implements. And everyone is exactly playing the same way, game plan wise. Especially once you sit there and pop heat, get your situational going, get your plus frames on plus, cash out your damage with a heat dash on block. Then there's just another plus frames, and then on top of that, there is another guest situation on top of that. By the time you end up looking up, you're already have lost quite a bit of your life due to chip. The fact that they're reducing chip, but on top of that, adding all these new features that even go into heat or so, like how Anna's slide literally just easily gets 60 damage off of that. Oh, their justification is, it only works from heat, but they're not taking into consideration of moves that integrate on top of that. They're only going through isolated single moves, which that isn't really honest how Taken is, because there is never going to be just an isolated move situation where you're only going to do this and then just nothing else on top of that. You're going to capitalize and use another situation where you are at a frame advantage on top of that to keep your opponent guessing. So I do not understand why they are constantly just only looking at it from that point of view, that lens, which it does not make any sense to me to balance a game in that manner.
I'll leave you with this to marinate and think about. This game is not for Taken veterans or Taken lovers on top of everything. This is, from what I gather now, this is another modern fighting game that happens to fall into those modern tropes now, where it's going to be more fun for the attackers instead of for everybody else. So we are literally watching in 4K characters and also a legacy series on top of that lose its identity and expression, which is something that I strongly cannot get behind on that aspect. For me, I've been playing Taken casually since Taken 2, and I really didn't start off like playing competitively mainly before I started traveling to tournaments and things of that nature. I started off when Dark Resurrection Online showed up for PS3. Those are roughly the days of how long I've really just been playing and just enjoying Taken alone on that gameplay aspect and everything else alone. I met some cool people along the ways and everything of that, but I'm literally watching, just like everyone else, like another classic franchise lose its identity in order to push out more sales to get those people in that is going to play now but not really be here for the long run. Like, they already made their money back much more faster than what they did with Taken 7 by hitting that $3 million. So this already just tells me alone that a lot of this is here to stay, and that is very unfortunate. And it's what many people, including even myself, were holding out hope for. And I'm very afraid to just even see how Lei Wulong, when he eventually shows up, if he's the one that shows up in summertime, cool. But I'm just very afraid to just see one of my all-time favorite characters in this franchise, just like many other people have, like, slowly have been losing the identity of the character that they mesh with, just become another run-of-the-mill stance 50-50 or install. And that is something that I already like just envision in my mind as what they're going to turn Lei Wulong into. Just an install base, probably has something to do with drinks, he levels up, unlocks more moves, or some type of BS like that. Probably in the same sense like what they did with Eddie, unlocking more moves. But I don't know. I really do not know what to think of the future going forward with the Taken franchise as of late. Especially for me, just of someone that just really enjoyed that series alone. It was one of the other 3D fighting games that I really just meshed with so much more than Virtual Fighter, much more than Dead or Alive, even though I did play those series like way later down the line and got my own little enjoyment out of it. But Taken for me was something that I constantly not just stuck with, but it's something I really just enjoyed of the world and just its gameplay alone, of just that fast paced, very flashy, just somewhat easy to still get into but hard to master type of deals. But I'm just seeing it, a game that I really just enjoyed like since childhood, just turn into something that I really do not recognize anymore. And I see that other people are in that same boat, and in all honesty, I really do not know it's been much more harder even just for me to just actually turn that game on and even just play it or even just really look at it alone. The only other times I really turn that on is if I'm either doing something for a specific video or fighting style at this point, but other than that, I really just never have a reason to turn it on, and that is very sad and unfortunate. But if you are feeling the same way, or if you disagree, please just leave your comments below. I'd love to read through everyone's thoughts and see what you guys are feeling with. But if you started with Tekken 8 and you're just new with the franchise, like, if this is something you actually like, that is more power to you. I will never discredit those that find enjoyment out of Tekken 8, but just for me personally, it is a dilemma that I've ended up just realizing that I've never gotten into this situation before with a series that I really just enjoy, and seeing others that went through their woes with their fighting games. The fact that it's also happening to Tekken, which sadly I've been through this song and dance before, especially with like even Mortal Kombat, but now that it's happening to Tekken, I really do not know. But anyways, folks, if you enjoyed today's video, like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can stay updated of any new videos coming to the channel. And you will be seeing some more fighting style stuff and more interviews and different stuff coming to the channel, so please look forward to that. But anyways, y'all, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, and it's still mind-blowing. I still cannot let go of the fact that you successfully practice and put this time into even just breaking throws and stuff of that nature, and you still get punished for that by taking chip damage. It's just a principle behind that I cannot understand the concept or thought process behind that. But anyways, y'all, it's Blackmore here, signing out. Catch you later, folks. Peace.
The study of Kung Fu fighting